Paper's a good idea. I like it.
No, pull the zoom out. Just a hair. There you go.
Can you see that there's nothing on the paper?
No.
Can you look first? Before...
I'm looking right now. All right, we're good.
And what am I saying again?
I'm John Inghram, and you're listening to the Live and Local podcast with your host, DJ Tim Hoover.
I'm John Inghram, and you're listening to the Live and Local podcast with DJ Tim Hoover. All right, cool.
Get to the mic a little bit.
I'm John Inghram, and you're listening to the Live and Local podcast with DJ Tim Hoover. I'm John Inghram, and I'm John Inghram. I'm John Inghram, and I'm... Shit. I'm John Inghram, and you're listening to the Live and Local podcast with your host, DJ Tim Hoover. I'm John Inghram, and you're listening to the Live and Local podcast with DJ Tim Hoover. Hi, I'm John Inghram. All right. This is the good one, for real. I'm John Inghram, and you're listening to the Live and Local podcast. Pretty good.
Are we live?
There's no way for us to know.
I think we're live. We're Live and Local podcast coming out of Sacred AV Studios in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm your host, DJ Tim Hoover. We got our first guest ever, my man John Inghram in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Crowd goes wild. We need a live studio audience so you can hear the applause and everything.
That's all right.
Kind of hold the duration.
That would be cool. Make it tight.
It would be cool for a later date. So how's it going, man?
It's going well. It's going well. I probably should get closer to this mic.
Get a little close to the mic. I should get a little closer to the mic. There you go.
Yeah, it's going well, man.
Yeah. So you guys been playing a lot of music. Made a big announcement here just today, or the Tom Petty Live on the Levee event. How about that?
Petty. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Man, I love all of those that you do. The Bill Withers, you just did Love Fest too.
Right. Yeah, so we did the Bill Withers thing last summer, same weekend as it's going to be this summer, which was this year it's the July 5th. But it was like 4th of July week or whatever last summer, right? And
Very
we did
cool,
the Bill Withers thing. We had Landau and Bob Thompson and Christian Lopez, tons of folks. It was really great. And this year, we're doing a Tom Petty thing. So.
Very cool. So are we trying to generate an annual thing like that? Is that going to be every year, or did it just happen that way? Or
I'm just focused on this year because I'm in the throes of getting music ready and coordinating with the artists to what their songs are going to be and
right.
stuff. We're 2 months out. So I have a pretty good idea of how that's all going to shake out, but now I have to put it into motion.
Yeah,
hardcore.
That's a hell of a project. Organizing an event of that magnitude definitely takes a lot of time, and getting all your ducks in a row and all those people on board and figuring out who's going to do what and who can do what. And
right.
I'm sure it's a lot to deal with. But those are great. I love the Bill Withers, man. That's probably one of my favorite Live on the Levees ever. That was really good stuff.
Wow, thank you.
So, yeah, we're definitely excited to see more of that coming. See, lots of news coming from Fletcher's Grove camp these days.
Fletcher's
is on the move. You guys just got back a little run out in Colorado.
We did a couple weeks, about, 12 days out in Colorado. We had a couple of days off, but it was great. We had a good run. Did Frozen Dead Guy Days, which is up in Nederland. That was a blast.
That's where you guys did the Ned Fest before, right?
We did Ned Fest twice, yeah.
And then Oteil played your bass that night.
He did.
It was pretty awesome. You sent me that picture. That was amazing.
Yeah, there's a picture of me on my Instagram where I'm clapping like a little girl.
Right? Yeah. You definitely fanboy out a little.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a moment.
And how cool you're just kind of standing there and his guitar breaks down. You just happen to play the same, at least the same style.
The story is, we're at Ned Fest. We played that. No, I'm sorry. We went directly out there. We didn't have any routing or anything like that. We were playing the festival and we drove directly out there. And we got there a night early because it was O'Teal's birthday bash, and we were like, we want to go and like have fun.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, okay, great. So we're there, and like, you know, we're drinking and having a good time. And all of a sudden, like, I'm watching the stage, and O'Teal's setting up, right? And they're having trouble, and he's like messing with the amp and messing with the bass. And I was like, man, something's messed up,
something's
right?
awry there.
So I like hit the guys. I was like, something's wrong with this bass, you know? And this is like my but you know, one of my top 3, you know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like just larger than life, you know, amazing.
Like, can I please have a cord or a plug that this guy needs?
Yeah, right. That's exactly where my head went.
Sure.
So I was like hitting Tommy and Croft and those guys. I was like, I think there's something wrong with this bass. And they were like, well, I mean, go, you know, I was like, should I go get my bass? They're like, go. And I'm like, you know, like drunk, you know,
Sure.
like honestly, I was like, so I was like, I don't know, man. And they were like, go get your bass and take it to O'Teal Burbridge on stage. Cause we knew the guy who,
way to go, guys,
who booked them and was like, you know, whatever. So I grabbed the bass, which is a Modulus Q6, which is what O'Teal, you know, was known to play, and was playing that night. And I ran up. It's a rare bass, too, right? And this is Netterland, Colorado. It's a little town, mountain town. So I ran up with the bass, and I was like, man, I got this. And he was like, go, you know, because the people were waiting.
Right.
And this is the headline set of the, you know, the evening. It's his birthday.
The show is hinging on this very moment. That's intense, bro. That's intense, man. It's awesome.
It's so incredible. And so I ran up, and the guy's like, take it up there. And I give him the bass, and O'Teal was like, what? You know, like this, who's this kid?
Right.
Or guy, whatever. And handed him the bass, and I was like, here, play it, you know. And he played it, signed it after the show. It was super cool. You know, chatted about it. And
How cool is that, man?
Tommy snapped a picture of when he's chatting with me afterwards, and I'm just like,
yeah,
like,
no doubt. Yeah, that's incredible. What a story,
cool.
man. That's 90% of life's being there, right? You know,
it's true.
Go
man.
get your guitar and be Johnny
there.
on the spot, baby. No pun intended.
Right. Yeah.
But,
and they proceeded to play the most amazing music on it.
Right.
You know.
Well, you know, I'm sure that guitar's probably used to that. So new album out, Fletcher's Grove.
Yeah.
Getting ready to drop Full Thing Friday.
Yeah.
I like this, man. I like the different sound. I like the string sound.
Thank you.
A lot of energy in there. It's definitely cool. What's it like touring with those guys, man? I've known those guys a long time, you know, and hung out with them, and they're a great time. I can only imagine how fun it is on the road.
Man, we have a blast. I mean, we really do. We get along great. It's funny. It's just laughs constantly, you know. Not constantly. I mean, you know.
Sure, you stick somebody in a
Wes
van
farts
together.
a lot,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Bet it smells awful in there.
Every now and then you just get really, come on, man.
Come on, man. Open a
I
window.
love those guys, man. They're great.
That's great, man. They're super great dudes, and I couldn't imagine being in a band with a bunch of funner guys. So we've got one single out now.
Yes, Waiting Out the Storm, which is the title track.
And rest of the album drops Friday.
That's right.
Where are we getting that at?
You'll get that anywhere you stream music.
Anywhere you stream
Apple
music.
It's
what a G does, son. He takes care of all bases.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're putting it out there, so it'd be easy to find. Spotify, you know. The single's on Spotify right now, so that's
so, you know, even aside from all that, you're a very busy man yourself. You know.
Let me say this real quick.
Yeah,
Friday,
absolutely.
The album drops, but we'll be at Dome Fest Friday.
Dome Fest Friday, that's right.
Marvin's Mountaintop, Pigeons playing ping pong. We'll be doing that.
Very nice.
So
love those guys. It's a great band.
Yeah.
Marvin's such a great place. I don't know how many All Goods I've been to up there, but it's a lot, and it's a lot of fun times up there.
Oh my God, yeah.
Place is a great joint. Very cool. So yeah, as a busy man as you are, you know, you had some fun in here recording and practicing a little with us there a week or two ago. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah,
it seems a little new.
Jess Baldwin and Jess Baldwin Quintet. She's really great singer-songwriter, and she's in Columbus now, but she's just really good, does a lot of really cool jazzy kind of arrangements of covers, but she's actually getting into doing some more original stuff now. So
that was cool. I'd not.
And that's what you heard was more the original stuff.
Yeah, and that was definitely a different vibe than the stuff I've normally heard you play. So it was very cool. I really dug that. Did you guys play at in Marietta?
We did
here like a week
Columbus
ago?
and Natalie's coal-fired pizza with her and Todd Burge, Ryan, who was also playing on that, Kennedy,
Yep.
and myself. We played on Todd Burge's last record, so it was like him, Jess Baldwin, and Don Dixon. And Don's great. You know, he produced REM and,
Wow.
you know, plays with Mary Chapin Carpenter's been playing with her for, you know, tons of years.
Nice.
He's done all kinds of stuff, man.
Rocking.
But
man.
yeah, those were great shows. So we did Columbus, then Marietta, and then we did a house show in Charleston.
Nice.
Yeah. I was actually just with Todd, but
Trey and I were actually up there. We worked the stage crew for the Chicago show.
oh yeah, you were
And,
there the same night. That's
Yeah,
right.
and that's what he said. He was like, "Man, Ingram's just around here." We ended up not getting done until like 2 a.m. We drove back, but I figured you would have been done by then. Anyways.
I heard that was a wild scene over there.
It was it was a cool little venue, very old building, very small. I don't even think they set just under 1,000, but it was sold out, and we crammed a lot of big show into a small room, but it was a lot of fun.
I heard they had like their wardrobes and stuff. They had a whole other building. with,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's a little annexed off to the side. We had to roll everything down. Yeah, it was a little. Hey, it was cool, man. This guy, I think there's still 2
Some big
original
deal
members,
shit.
and I tell you what, man. You know, at one time they were huge. You know, they were huge in the
well,
world.
they, yeah.
I mean, they
that's true.
still big to me. You know,
No,
but,
yeah, but they're a big deal.
But I
man.
think there's 2 original members, but they kill it, man. You know, the last time they played the Municipal, we sat and watched them, and they were amazing.
I don't really know much about Chicago. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I'm just gonna say that out loud.
Right.
I really don't know much about.
Well, you know,
Chicago.
Terry Kath was the original
Guitar
lead
guy.
guitar guy
Yeah,
there, and
he was badass.
total badass.
He died,
so
right?
he
Russian roulette?
accidentally blew his head off at
It's
a party,
insane.
like stupid. Somebody handed him a pistol and took the clip out, and there was still one in the chamber, and he was just being stupid, I guess, and they were partying and blew his head.
God.
Total
It's
tragic
terrifying.
accident. Yeah, it's horrible. But at one time I saw an interview with Jimi Hendrix, and they were telling him, you know, hey, you know, what do you think about being the greatest guitar player in the world? And he name dropped Terry Kath. He goes, well, there's this guy named Terry Kath that
Damn.
plays in this
Hendrix
band.
said that?
Yeah, Hendrix said
That's
it.
crazy.
He was like, plays in this band in Chicago. You should check him out. And so that's pretty hardcore credentials. I don't know if I ever, you know,
He was like
know
an
enough about it to be
influencer
able to.
before influencers. You know what I
Perhaps
mean?
he
Like,
probably listened to him a
if that
lot
was
and
on
respected him
Instagram
really
and
well.
he said
Oh
that,
man, that'd be crazy. But that, I mean,
Dude,
great.
could you
And come on, the
imagine?
Karate Kid soundtrack. Get out of here.
What is that? Chicago?
Most, yeah, they did a lot of. The lead singer, I guess, I think his solo project too, did a lot of this stuff.
Okay, who's that?
I can't remember his
Okay.
name.
Yeah, I don't know much.
I'm not. That's all the info I got in Chicago.
You got to dig, man.
That's all I got. You have to. You have to.
Right on.
That's cool. So what else is going on, man? How's the family going? I know
Family's good.
life outside of rock and roll is definitely busy. Also,
Yeah, man. Well, family's good. Just same old there.
yep. Kids grow like weeds.
They do.
They do. Mine are doing the same. Is doing the same.
I heard cue music.
I heard cue the music.
um,
So I think we do have a little bit of a track to play.
okay.
Can we play a little bit of a song? Cheers, man. Thanks for being our first podcast guy.
Yeah.
Christening the first launch.
Is this live right now?
We're live.
On Facebook?
No, not on Facebook.
On YouTube?
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I tried everything to
Okay.
walk.
You know, here's the deal. This is the way I look at it. If people are commenting on it,
Forced to fear the one and all. Shackled by the chains of law. And I feel the way I'm talking isn't real anymore. till they build this wall. They'll fear the freedom of the people. How much further will we go? And I feel the way I'm talking isn't real anymore. Finally, I'm flying where I need to be. Finally, I'm flying where I need to be. Finally, I'm flying where I need to be. Oh, finally, oh, I'm flying where I need to be.
So, John, how about Slugfest? Are we ever going to see any of that again?
Maybe so. That'd be fun. Everybody stays pretty busy, so
Yeah.
I've had a couple people ask about it lately, and nothing's hooked up yet.
Right. It's
But-
hard not to give the people what they want, though, right?
I mean, I don't know if they'd want it. I mean, it would be fun for us, and I think there's a handful of people that would dig it. But I don't know. It's hard to get it all
It's,
together sometimes.
It's a lot of ducks to get in a row with.
Yeah,
Everybody's got
it's ducks, and it's like, you know,
scheduling, families, practicing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are out of town.
yeah,
A
all
lot
of
of
the
people are
above.
busy.
All of the
Yeah.
above, man.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Yep.
And still doing the Bob Thompson thing.
Still doing the Bob Thompson thing.
Jamming
We played
out with
earlier
Bob.
tonight. We had a little private thing, and man, Bob was playing the acoustic piano over at the Clay Center, the Yamaha Grand. And it was, man, just sounded so good in there.
Ringing out in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just like we couldn't. It was one of those nights where you just didn't play wrong note. Even the wrong notes sound good.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Sure.
And that's what it was. Man, they were just like ringing through the hall.
I bet playing music with him was a lot of fun.
It's like riding a wave, man. You know,
Yeah.
when it's killing. This was a trio, so it was Tim on drums, Tim Quartz on drums,
Yep.
and Bob and myself. And when it's cooking, man, it's the same with Bob or with Doug and Ryan too. Like, but whenever it's on, man, it's just like
Yeah. That's
it's a wild ride.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. He's such a cool cat too. Definitely big shout out to Bob and Ryan, and hopefully we'll have him over here
Yeah.
soon too. I think he's going to stop by eventually, hang out on the couch. You know, I'm glad we didn't do the lay down thing. They wanted everybody
thought
to lay
about it.
down. See how you'd feel awkward laying down right now.
I don't know how he. You're talking about Chris Tansey
Yeah, yeah.
laying down on the couch and doing an interview, and
He probably needs to lay down on the couch though.
I feel like his level of comfort was unusual.
Just glad he didn't go to sleep. Shout out to Chris Tansey for thanks for being our guinea pig.
That's my
On our-
man
on our
right there.
travel
you
run.
know.
He is the
That's
man.
my brother.
Man, he's so good on the horn.
Yes, he is.
The few times he sat in with us and played, I mean, it just changes the whole dynamic.
my
He's
God.
great to have
Yeah.
on stage with anybody. I think he makes everybody sound better.
Yeah, man.
It's,
He's amazing. I cut my teeth with that guy. you
Yeah,
know.
you guys came up together pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Huh? That's very cool. How long you been playing the bass?
About 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you always know you were going to play the bass?
No, I thought I was gonna be a preacher. Or
Wow.
or David Letterman.
So
That's
you
what I wanted when I was a kid. I thought to myself, I said actually, I told like, it was well documented fact that I said I was gonna either be a preacher or David Letterman, or I guess somebody like David Letterman,
right.
Which is an interesting.
Here we are. Welcome to the Tonight Show.
analyze that. Like armchair psychiatrists out there. I don't know what that means, but anyway.
It's either all or nothing, right?
I think I went more of the Letterman route. I mean,
Definitely so. Entertainment.
I hope.
Entertainment. So you probably know you had an entertainment gene, younger. If you wanted to
so.
be the David Letterman show, then you wanted to entertain people. I think,
Yeah, I think so. I got on stage when I was like, my earliest memory, musical memory, is, or at least my earliest like memory of performing. Right, I was, I think, 4 or 5, maybe. I think in that area. I don't honestly remember how old I was. I was really, really young, but I sang Blue Suede Shoes at the Campbell's Creek, like fair there.
Nice.
Like, I think the Lions Club thing
Very good.
or something.
Very good.
And my grandma, who was like a gospel singer, she was like, I was like, I guess I said I wanted to go up there and sing, and she was like, because she knew them, and she was like, go, and
Go,
they were, like,
go,
bring
go.
them up, and the people like loved it.
Oh, they loved it.
And I think that was when it was like game over.
You're like, holy crap, I get up here and do this and people love me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey.
and you get like, you're a kid, and you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
this is it. It's like the biggest, like that drug. It's a drug, and
It's the coolest feeling in the world.
All these people
You can't
like
buy it.
eating it up, and you're like, oh my god, this is great. So
Yeah.
I think that's where I got bit with the kind of performance bug, but.
That's pretty cool. So when you took up playing music, was that the first instrument, or did you go through some other ones, or?
I played trumpet in 6th grade for a minute, but
I played the clarinet in the 6th grade.
did you really?
I did, yeah.
Nice. Only for the 6th grade?
Yeah.
Same here. Yeah. I was like, I'm not feeling this.
No, it was not. I tried really
wish
hard. I got decent, and I not decent, but I could get through my papers,
Yeah,
And
same here.
but then I was like, man, I don't know. The clarinet's not bringing the chicks in.
Well, the band room smelled like spit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And the teacher, I wasn't crazy about the teacher.
I didn't really like mine either. My junior high teacher was great. Scott Milam.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Scott's
him.
a good dude, yeah.
We actually ended up, I DJ'd and played a show with him, and I felt this full circle thing coming around. He was my junior high music teacher, and I had homeroom with
Okay.
him.
Yeah, Scott's a
And,
good dude.
he was just always the coolest guy. And then, it's not like I pursued a lot of music in school back then or anything, but I was around him a lot. And then we ended up playing a gig together at like one of the Third Eye events over here. And,
Nice.
and I was like, man, how cool is this,
Yeah.
So, but he was a great dude. So I really liked him. But the elementary lady, I didn't care for her much. She had frizzy hair and she was very short.
You didn't like her hair?
She,
So you didn't stick with the
I didn't like her
clarinet?
hair, and she was very short with me. So I don't know. I think I was just too ignorant for. She didn't have time for my petty non-music.
I mean,
knowing
if you're
yourself.
impatient, you got no business
Right.
teaching that age group.
Absolutely.
Because that's you got to. I'm amazed.
You do a lot of teaching, right?
I don't. No, I do not.
Well, did
No,
you
I
go
got
over
a
the
couple
Montessori and
students.
fill in a little?
I
don't
did
you?
that. I mean,
Yeah.
but that that's a different thing. But like, I did some camps, taught some stuff at camps there. But in terms of private
Lessons,
lessons,
that type of thing.
and then like teaching, like at school. Talk about a tough gig, man.
I
mean,
couldn't imagine.
No way, bro.
I couldn't imagine. No way.
Salt of the earth, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But teaching takes it's a skill, man. It takes a special kind of individual
Yeah.
to be able to do that. I don't know what got us onto this subject, but
I don't either. But shout out to all the teachers out there.
I know what it was. I didn't like my 6th grade
Right.
band director,
Right.
so I didn't hang with the trumpet. But man, looking back, I wish I would have. But so I just kind of like, I was always kind of noodling on guitar,
Yeah.
And then in 8th grade, I think 7th or 8th grade, I think it was 8th grade, my buddy Sam Wiseman, who's playing on the Tom Petty tribute, he was playing drums, okay, and our friend AJ had a guitar. He was playing some little guitar, and so I came to they're like, we're all buds or whatever, and I came to them and I was like, yo, I'm gonna get a guitar, for my birthday or whatever. And so they were like, no, get a bass, because then we can start a band,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of chose me in a way.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Bass, I didn't, and I was like, okay,
was
cool.
fortuitous.
Yeah, it was
That's pretty cool.
And I have a cousin who played bass. He played bass, and
So what was the name? What was the name of your first band ever?
the Phyllis Willis Trio.
The Phyllis Willis Trio.
Yeah, we had a teacher named Phyllis Willis, and it's kind of like Leonard Skinner, you
Right.
know,
Yep.
and so it was. I don't know.
That's cool. Very cool.
Not really.
Yeah, I remember the first band
fun
I
to
was in. It was
reflect
horrible.
on them.
It was horrible. That's pretty good. But I remember getting excited. We bought a microphone set. We had more than one microphone, and it was like the greatest thing in the world. So we could.
You had more than one microphone.
Well, we eventually did. This kid's mom actually bought in this little set, and we had 3 microphones, and then we could do harmonies.
How about those moms out there?
Shout out to all the parents supporting their kids.
buying their kids mics.
Buy your kids
letting
mics.
them rock the frick out. And if we can cuss on here,
That's right.
You were talking. We're
Rock
addressing
out.
parents who should be
That's
tactful.
right.
Letting them rock out, letting them jam in the bonus room.
Encourage
Because
your
my buddy
musical child.
Sam, his folks, they had like a bonus room above the garage where we.
That's
we
awesome.
raged, man. I mean, and we would jam for hours upon hours
Yep.
upon hours into, late night, and they were cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, rarely.
We had the same
they
thing.
would say,
We had a friend's house
chill.
we would go to, and we would all meet there, jam. We could stay for the weekend, And shout out to those parents. Give kids a safe, place to practice their music
Dude,
and
I
hang
look
out.
back and I'm thinking like,
be
I
surprised
don't
how
know if
less
I
trouble
would
they will
be-
get in.
Now that I have kids, I don't know that I would. I'm like, dang, man, because my kids are like, 6 and 2.
Right.
I'm like thinking in 10 years from now, if Jackie's like, we're like, dude, we're having band practice and all my
Right.
boys are. I gotta be hell yeah,
You'd be
But
the
it's-
biggest hypocrite in the world.
If I didn't,
If you
I know,
did,
but
you
believe
would
me, I'd
totally
be like,
be-
man, they're
You
gonna
have
be
to.
raging for hours.
Right. Hey.
They're gonna be jamming down there, but that's cool.
There's worse alternatives.
Oh man, no
Big
kidding.
time.
Oh yeah.
And the world's a crazy place
I
now
hope that
than when we
happens,
were
actually,
kids.
now that I'm thinking
Absolutely. You better bank on it.
about it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to do us up, man. We want to thank everybody for hanging out, tuning in to our live and local podcasts. We thank our man John Inghram for hanging out and being our first guest. We're going to keep this rolling. We're going to talk to a lot of local musicians, artists, movers and shakers all around the Charleston area. So definitely tune in. We'll have this available to subscribe on iTunes. Obviously, our YouTube channel will be available as well. So definitely come back in and check us out. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. I think they say it is now, but I don't see how that works. We can, I think we should just...
Well, I tried to build a thinner wall while you tried to build a bigger wall. Forced to fear the one and all, shackled by the chains of law. And I feel the way I'm talking isn't real anymore. Build, divide, and conquer all. United till they build this wall. They'll fear the freedom of the people. How much further